Hi, my name is Maria Five. Welcome to my channel. I am here today talking to you about the 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. But before that, I'm going to talk about my tea. This is just Orange Pekoe tea, Wheatland Library promotional cup. Orange Pekoe is a black tea that is grown a lot of places in the world, but the reason why it's given Orange Pekoe as opposed to simply black tea is it was from the House of Orange, which is the royalty of the Netherlands. And I think somewhere around I should have looked this up, somewhere in the 1400s or so, they were, Holland, the Netherlands, is surrounded by three sides of ocean, sea. And so they were really good at building ships and traveling all over the world. And they were probably the biggest merchants way back when, which is why they conquered a lot of the world way back when. Of course, they lost a lot of it too, but they kept a lot of the foods and definitely the tea. So the House of Orange is the royalty color in the Netherlands. And so Orange Pekoe was fit for royalty. It is, or was, the best of the black tea. That's the history of that in a nutshell. All right, for the makes, I have, these are some little wallets. They have stabilizer in them. And of course I should have done that. I'll do this one. Yeah, stabilizer, a little bit of an elastic with a button closure. And then when you open them up, there is a zipper. Well, zipper for change or whatever you want to keep in there. There's some wallets. There's a spot for a pen and a pencil or two pens or whatever you like. Just a little evening going out, going for dinner, going to a theater, something like that. This is the unicorn one, and it's got the little unicorn button, which is a bit problematic, but you know, I didn't realize that at the time, of course. And again, just that little bit of covered elastic. And when you open it up, again, there's the pockets just for some cards, a little bit of change, money, just a little zipper here that opens up. Just a cute little evening something. And just hexagons cut out in stabilizer, covered in fabric, and sewn really, really tiny stitches along the edges. You could do this with binding as well if you wanted to. I chose not to, but I mean, there's nothing saying that one couldn't. And now we're going to talk about the 40 Rules of Love. So this book I found super enchanting. I learned so much. It's two stories in one. I should say that. So the main protagonist, her name, is Ella Rubinstein, and she's a housewife. She's been married for 20 years. She has 3 kids. One's older, and the 2 twins are younger. And she's married to a dentist, David, who has been having affairs on her. And she knows about this, but, you know, she chooses not to rock the boat. She loses herself in cooking. That's what she loves to do, is cook. So she gourmet cooks everything. So she decides she's going to get a job. She needs something else to do. So she gets a job as a book editor. So she gets this job. And the first book she was given is called Sweet Blasphemy. And that's what starts our second story. So the second story, Sweet Blasphemy, is written by Aziz. And she starts to read the book. She starts to get to know him, starts to email him. They start to have this kind of ongoing communication, lots of emails, eventually phone calls. And his book, Sweet Blasphemy, is about Rumi, who is a Sufi from 1244, and he gets to know Shams of Tabriz. And the story talks about whirling dervishes. And me, I don't know. I had Tasmanian Devil. A whirling dervish was always a Tasmanian Devil to me. You know, the Looney Tunes whirling dervish. So this whirling dervish is actually not that at all. It's It's a part of Muslim Sufism, which is how they communicate. Open up the lines of communication with God. So the 40 rules of love are not what I was thinking at all. I'm going to read you one of them just to give you an idea, just because I thought it was so well done and surprising. So here we go. One of the rules says, you can study God through everything and everyone in the universe, because God is not confined, in a mosque, synagogue, or church. But if you are still in need of knowing where exactly his abode is, there is only one place to look for him: in the heart of a true lover. So that's, true love, but true lovers seeking God. And if you ever look into yoga, go a little deeper into that. Rumi is a big name. His quotes, his philosophies are really big with the yogic community. And that's where I learned of him, Rumi. But this whole story, Shams of Tabriz and Rumi and their relationship and the things they discuss. And Sweet Blasphemy is a brilliant little story that Aziz puts into his Sweet Blasphemy book. And it's the story of a sheep herder, and he is praising God, giving thanks to God the only way he knows how. And someone comes along and says, you are doing this all wrong. This is what you need to be doing. And he's just, oh my goodness, I've been doing it all wrong. Changes everything, goes to the mosque and does everything not very well, but he's doing it the proper way. And God talks to the man that chastises the shepherd, saying, no, it's sweet blasphemy. His intentions are right. He's doing it all from his heart. And the proper way, according to the laws, are not necessarily really what we're after here. We're after for that deep, heartfelt love. I thought that was just a brilliant little story, and I'm going to remember that one. Anyway, the book is brilliant. It takes a little while for Elif Shafak. It takes a little while for her to get going with. She spends a bit of time setting up the whole story, and there's lots of little bits with the mom and the daughter, and I don't know if they they sort of emphasize the whole thing with love and acceptance, but I think it could have been done just a bit more concise. Anyway, she does ramble on a little bit in the beginning before you really get into the story of the mom and the writer and the whole Shams of Tabriz and Rumi and their whole conversations that go on in the 1200s. So brilliant, really, really well written book. The 40 Rules of Love, Whirling Dervishes, and fascinating. All right. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.